Hello there, wee Paddy from across the shock, and how's my little potato chips today? I hope yous are all right. Now, this is a strange video to make, and when it was first, it was one of my subs who asked in a video I'd done during the week. He said, "Would you do a video on slip joints that are one hand opening?" And I answered him politely, as I would anybody who gives me a suggestion. There's no bad suggestions. I said, I'll have a wee look into it. And I'm going to be really honest here. I was sitting thinking, well, that wouldn't really make an interesting video, or not something that I'd be interested in. But as with life, when you go away and you start to think about something, there was something in his question that got to me. And it was only when I was lying in bed last night and I thought, do you know, that would be an interesting video. And I was trying to think in bed what knives I had that I could open one-handed that were slip joints. And to be honest with you, that's it. Out of all my collection, that's it. Now, there's a caveat to that as well. I haven't chosen knives like this knife here. This is a Pöker Houser, right? This, I have added one of the little screw down thumb studs that you can buy, a quick stud I think they're called. Now, the reason I have let this one go is because it works perfectly. It works safely. There's a lot of knives that I have that I can pinch open here and then sort of, oh, you see, that's what happens. That literally is what I found is dangerous. And if you're up a ladder and you're opening a knife like this and it slams on your finger, that's not good. So I haven't chosen any that I can do that way, and there is a few, but they're cumbersome. But I've chose this one with a quick stud on it because it works safely. It's not going to slip back down in my knives. So that's a Pöker Houser. Lovely knife. It's not a knife I show a whole lot. It's beautiful. It's G10. It's 440C steel like most Pökers. And just a beautiful work knife. Really, really lovely knife. This is a limited edition one, so I don't tend to use it a whole lot. It was a gift. But so I was sitting thinking how many I've got. And I just can't believe this is all I've got. And I have a lot of slip joints. So I'm going to run through them and just show you, because there's so many different mechanisms here, which I thought was good. But one thing that stood out for me, now look, this is a little small one with a thumb stud. It's got titanium and it's got 8CR13, I believe it is 8CR13. Let me just double check. I think it is. I think it's a San Remo. It's a wee San Remo 8CR13. This is a cracking little knife. It's only a wee 2-finger knife. But let me tell you, it's a cracking wee slip joint, and it does. But it's not exactly a knife that you would take going to work. Unless you worked in an office maybe, but you're hardly going to be up a ladder relying on this. But the best knife you have is the one you have on you, so you never know. And it's one that works safely, so I did include it. Nice little knife, lovely little thing. Then there's the Spyderco, and this is the bird range of the Spyderco, and this is a Spyderco turn. Really popular knife for those in the UK and Europe because it's legal nearly everywhere. It's a slip joint, it's one-handed, a really nice knife. 8CR13, but you know, if you want a little work knife, this will do you up a ladder. If it's in your pocket, it's handy to use, one-handed completely. A really useful knife. This one is one of the odd category. Look how thin this is. This is, I think it was a Bruce Blades. It was made for a battle box, which is a monthly subscription box in brass. And I'm not even sure what the blade, I think it was quite a high, it was S35VN or something. It was quite a good blade, but it's a nice little knife, nice little one-handed knife. And yes, by all means, you could use that. That's a nice wee secondary knife to have at work, just in your pocket. Works easy. And you've got a fairly, what is that? It's a 2.5, just over 2.5 inches cutting edge. So yes, it'll do light jobs if you need it to. Opens easy and safely. This is one I've just reviewed. This is the Pöker, what's this called? This is terrible. Pöker Excess slip joint knife. A really genuinely beautiful knife. I literally have done the review, I think it was yesterday on this, but it's worth going back to have a look. This has impressed me no end. This is a proper work knife that opens one-handed. that if you're up a ladder, you've got everything you need up that ladder. Absolutely beautiful. Not that we all jump up and down ladders, but, and then there's the Pöker Houser, and then another Spyderco. This is the S110V version of the UK PK, which I believe is one of the best knives for the money out there. It's about £111 to buy here in the UK, but it is S110V. It is just an absolute little workhorse. It's a light workhorse. Don't get me wrong, it's not a heavy duty workhorse, but for anything, especially somebody like me is going to do, and most people, to be honest, this will cover you. This will cover you without a shadow of a doubt. Great blade steel, great little knife, easy to use one-handed, absolutely no problems. And then this surprised me nicely, and how important it makes this knife to my collection, because this is a heavy duty work knife. This is a Hinderer XM18 Slippy, and it comes with this little stud that moves up and down the rail here. You just adjust it. There's a Torx in the top there, and you have a full EDC, completely safe Slippy to use up a ladder anywhere you like. This Slippy will cover it. And even when I was thinking in bed last night, I didn't think of this. Because this is one of my high-end knives, I missed it completely until I was going through the drawers there today, and I realised, oh, I have one. And this is what I would call very expensive, but it is a beautiful one-handed slip joint, UK legal. So this would definitely be my prepared. It would be between, sort of, let me just move these out of the way. These other knives are nice little knives, there's no doubt about it, but if I was to pick 3 knives in my collection that I would class as genuine work knives, 1, they're big enough, 2, they're easy to use, one-handed, so if you are up a ladder, the Spyderco, the Hinderer Slippy, and this new to me, this Pöker Excess. There's 3 work knives. Blades are all roughly the same size. They're all under 3 inches because this is the UK, but they will get any work done that most people are going to want to do. This is a bit lighter, but it doesn't matter because it's so good. It's so well made. It's so sturdy. You know, it covers you for everything, and especially with S110V, there's nothing you're going to be frightened of cutting off. Same as this, it's only 440C, but this will do anything you want it to do, and the 20CB that's on the Hinderer. But it was surprising, and being asked to do a video, sometimes you think in your head, well, what's the point of doing the video? But if somebody actually does work and is looking for a knife that's a slip joint that you can open one-handed, I was surprised at how few I have. So why don't you go into your collection, and this is open to anybody obviously across the world, what slip joints have you got that you can actually open one-handed? Because it is a thing, because if you do use your knives to take the work, it is a thing, and it probably restricts an awful lot of slippies out there, especially the real old traditional ones. You just can't do it. But it does make it a mind. It maybe there's an opening in your collection that you have to fill. You know, I've got quite a few, but, well, I've got 7 here out of the 100-odd knives I've got. So, I mean, it just shows you how little I do have in my collection. So maybe this is something for you to think of. Have you got a Slippy you can carry that you can open one-handed safely? I know there's ones that you can get here and you can sort of pinch open, but they're not safe. If you're in a precarious position, never mind up a ladder, if you're in a precarious position and you're trying to do something one-handed and it slams in your finger, not only can you not even attend to your wound, you're going to end up dropping your knife to get it off your finger. So these are safe. So have a look in your collection, and maybe if you can, even on my Facebook page, if it suits you, show me a picture of a knife that you believe is a UK legal or European legal, or just the fact that it's a slip joint. We all have slip joints now because there's a craze at the minute for slip joints, which is lovely for me. But go into your collection and see which one you can open one-handed, and then you can definitely call it a work knife. A work knife. This will work, but it's not exactly a work knife. That's not exactly a work knife. That you could maybe, you know, there's not that much difference between that and that. You could call this a work knife if it's maybe lighter work you do. But there's three I would class as proper, genuine work knives. Let's have a look. If you've got any, if you're a UK YouTuber, let me see what you've got, just so that I can have a look, because I'm going to definitely think about getting more. And I know Spyderco, they do all sorts of urban and things like that are, you know, this smaller, like. But you really want something that's got a 2.5-inch blade length, so that it can be properly described as a work knife. There you go. There's a wee challenge. And I just thought it was interesting. And when one of your subs asks you to do something, it just goes to show, maybe don't say no straight away. Have a wee think about it. And thankfully, that's what I done. And thankfully, I've seen a gap on knives that I maybe need to buy in the future. More one-handed opening, UK legal, or just slip joints. Because this is not only UK legal, this is a world-class knife. So are they. And as far as work goes, you couldn't get far past them. And they're much more affordable than this. But there you go. Right, I'm away before I start waffling. Take care. Thank you very much for all those who look after us at the minute. We're still in lockdown here. I know there's lots of places in the world that's starting to relax. Unfortunately, Northern Ireland, even England's relaxing. Northern Ireland hasn't started yet. So old fogies like myself and the missus are still locked indoors. Take care. Thank you for all you do for us. Take care. Bye-bye now. Cup of tea time.